Yo! What about it, YouTube? We're back for another episode of Rambling Thoughts or Random Thoughts or whatever we're going to call it. There's been a few suggestions. Truck Time with Nathan, I think. We'll just call it Nobody. Oh, shit. Crooked Time with Nathan. Okay, now that that's fixed, how's it look? Pretty good. Pretty good. It's been a minute. I had a lot of anxiety thinking about doing one of these. They're not easy, that's for sure. Well, I guess they're kind of easy once you get to rolling, but just considering getting a camera and setting it up because it's a pain in my ass, and then thinking about, well, what do you want to talk about? That's an unlimited stream of ideas, most of which you would not be interested in hearing. But today I did have one I wanted to talk about, and I think it's important. And I also was thinking, is that my kid? Is that in focus? Autofocus is on. Nope, not my kid. Another reason why I was thinking about making these videos, why I'm making these videos. I was thinking it was a place for me to document these ideas and then see how I've grown, changed over time, over the years, and just look back and say, okay, like all the videos I have, I'm in them, but then it's music and it's not really me. It's just me making videos. It's not my ideas. And I want to see how I evolve. And I was thinking it's a great way for me to share these ideas in a way from the grave, you know, in a weird way. Like if I was to die, my kids know like every idea I have, random ideas of why I think things are the way they are. And they may not get it right now, today, but someday I hope that they like, oh, okay, that's what Dad meant. And I thought this is a good place to store these videos at some point in their life. They may need parenting advice, and this may be the place they go to get it. You know, it'd be nice to be able to get advice from my dad. Well, I guess I could get it. I could call him. But my point is, I don't know what my point is. I'm not sure. I just think it's a cool thing to do. Whatever, man. Don't judge me. God. Jeez. Okay, so what I want to talk about today, I think it's the secret to my happiness. Keyword happiness. I ask people this question all the time, and I get, for the most part, the same answer. Like 99% of the time when asked what they want out of life, they generally always say, I want to be happy. And I say, well, define that. What does that look like to you? Like, can you describe what happiness looks like to you? I mean, I know we can describe the emotional feeling, right? Laughter, birthdays, blah, blah, blah. But for the most part, I think people really struggle, and I know I did for a long time, to describe, like everybody says, what you should be chasing out of life is to be happy. Find something in which makes you happy, whatever. I also have been told all my life that happiness comes from within. And I say, great. What does that mean? I mean, it's a metaphor that I really struggle to identify with. But I think maybe, for me at least, I figured out how to take the mystery out of that and exactly what that means for me. And maybe you just need to hear me out. This may sound absolutely insane. Happiness from within. What does that mean? Like all the metaphors and famous quotes out there. Such great wisdom. And most of us don't have a clue what they're talking about. I mean, we might have an idea, but it usually takes years before that famous saying really applies in our lives, and before we can really connect to it. But I was really thinking about the idea of happiness comes from within. And I realized I've been doing a lot of research on hormones, human hormones, and 3 in particular that I think classify as what happiness could be, or the sensation, or what would generate the sensation of happiness. And I think it's simply serotonin, dopamine, and oxytocin. Those 3. There may be some more, but those are the main 3 key indicators of the emotional experience of happiness. But then I say, well, no, that could be identified or even maybe kind of classified as happiness, but truly, what is happiness? I think it is gratitude. And I don't mean I'm grateful for my vehicle or my job or my kids. Yeah, I'm grateful for a lot of things. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the emotional experience of gratitude. I believe that gratitude is more powerful than loving someone. I've fallen in love, right? Like the process of falling in love with another human being, not just loving, but falling in love, that's powerful. There's no doubt about it. But the emotional experience of feeling gratitude is so powerful. We cry. We cry. We have moments that we just get overwhelmed and we can't even control our emotions. Like, I've never cried when I fell in love. I've cried because somebody dumped me, but I've never cried because I've fallen in love with someone. It's exciting, it's powerful, but to feel the sensation of gratitude is overwhelming. And maybe gratitude, I'm wondering, is the experience of receiving love, right? Does that make sense? Not falling in love, not like loving someone else, but realizing and feeling that someone loves you, like for a reason, because maybe you help them. Okay. So I have this idea. There's two things that really drive us to actually do something. And number one is fear. That's a good one. We do things or we do not do things because of fear. The other one I call self-gratification. For instance, let's say you break down, right? And you call me, and I'm out doing this, right? I'd much rather be doing this than anything else at this point. But you call and say, hey, my tire's flat. Can you help me? Or do you have jumper cables? Or let's say I'm at home in the bed, asleep, and you call me. The last thing I want to do is get out of bed. But I have two choices. I can say no and lay there and feel some very powerful emotion called regret. I mean, like, to feel like a piece of shit, right? That's the alternative if I don't get out of bed and go and help this person. Some people are okay with feeling like a piece of shit. But if you feel like shit for not helping someone that needs help, that's normal. That's completely normal. So what do? The alternative? Get up, go help them. Well, it may have been a pain in the ass initially, but once we got there and we see the joy on their face and we realize how much they actually needed us, we feel their gratitude, their love, because we thought enough of them to go help. I don't know if we do anything for any other reason other than self-gratification. I don't know. It's complicated, but I simply think when we call up a friend to hang out, we're not doing it for them, right? We're doing it for us because that friend makes us feel good about who we are. So therefore, we're in a way doing it for selfish reasons. It's because that person makes me feel good about me. In a way, that is a self-gratifying reason to do it. Or you could actually say a selfish reason. I don't have any problem with it. I think it's fine. I don't want to get too far off track, but this all initially started with what is it that makes me happy? Focus on helping people get where they need to go, and they will pull you along and push you further. I swear to God, I think that's the secret to everything. Well, hold on. To advancing your career and finding true happiness from within, I think that is the key to experiencing that and really living that lifestyle, simply by providing value in other people's lives. You will be rewarded, you will be appreciated, you will experience love on another level. It's indescribable. Well, maybe I am describing it, but I'm telling you, you're going to struggle to describe what gratitude feels like. Like I said, I think it's more powerful than feeling in love. It's feeling loved. It's knowing you're loved. To love someone is one thing. That's a good feeling. But to feel that love, that's emotional. That's scary, and it's life-changing. And really understanding what they meant by happiness comes from within, I truly believe it is nothing more than gratitude, which is nothing more than a series of hormones or a recipe of hormones within us, again called serotonin, dopamine, and oxytocin. I think that's what happiness from within means. Could be wrong. I'd like your opinion. These are just my opinions. You got to start from something. That is my random thought of the day. It wasn't quite so random, but I always try to imagine that I'm going to start off with a topic. That never seems to happen. Well, I'll start off with a topic maybe, but then it just kind of, it's this cobweb of ideas, and they're all connected. And as I'm speaking, it leads me to this one, and so I'm really going to focus on dialing it in, and maybe connecting these ideas over a series of videos. So, what are your thoughts? I mean, if I'm batshit crazy, that's fine, because crazy people don't know they're crazy, right? Enjoy the show. If you think I'm crazy, that's fine. I don't give a shit. I really appreciate you hanging around, listening to me ramble. You know, if you got any opinions, if you disagree, please let me know what you disagree about. I mean, I'm probably and potentially wrong about everything that I uttered, but I would really appreciate your opinion. So until next time, so long.